Hello, beautiful creative soul, and welcome back to Chakra Care for the Creative Soul. And today we're going to be talking about why conventional self-care will only take you so far in 2024. Hello, my name is Pollyanna Blanco, and I will be your host today. I am a sacred self-care coach, a creative midwife, and a Chakradance facilitator, helping busy light workers like yourself to care as much for yourself as you care for the world while you're dancing your dreams into a beautiful reality. And today's topic is near and dear to my heart when I felt into what I most wanted to offer today as support in these shifting times is this topic of self-care in and of itself. My whole journey has been about learning to restore self-care in my life, and not just, first it was conventional self-care, of course. And then as I've been growing and expanding in my own journey, my own inner awakening journey, as so many of you are, there's been a deeper call. And that deeper call has been to restore the sacred to my self-care. And what does that actually look like? Well, that can be very different for many people in terms of the actual choice of perhaps the doingness of the sacred self-care. What I'm here to talk to you about and share with you today is it's about the beingness. That's at the core. I'm not going to say do this or don't do that, because somehow that would be straying from the focus for today's show, which is about the being. So from what I've come to learn along my journey, the being is the restoration of the sacred to our self-care. And this is at the heart of everything I'm going to be sharing today. Why is conventional self-care, only going to take us so far in 2024? Well, what I'm getting at there, what I want to convey to everyone is that, first of all, if we're not caring for ourselves in these shifting times, life is going to feel really wobbly and really bumpy. And especially if we have big hearts and big dreams and we want to, really, we're either seeking and trying to figure out what our greater reason and for being here is, and just are trying to heed our soul's calling. If we're in survival brain, if we're, rushing around through our day, then we're not going to be able to get into that flow state, that where our creativity, we can connect to our creativity or inspiration, where we can see hidden in plain view all of the opportunities, the moments that are like trip switches, the moments that are activating us to take the next soulfully aligned step. And so this is why when we aren't caring much for ourselves and we're so focused on caring for other people, number one, the first step is to bring that self-care in. And we know what that looks like. A lot of us already know what that looks like. It's taking quiet time to ourselves. It's, being kind to ourselves, doing things that bring us joy. And oftentimes in the beginning, these things can be, very supportive and very helpful, until they start to lose a little bit of their luster. And what I mean by that, and I've experienced this in my own life, so this is why I felt compelled to share this and speak to this topic today. I don't know, I'm going to ask you, have you been noticing in your own life that perhaps some of your go-to self-care behaviors, let's call them, are losing their capacity to perhaps leave you feeling nourished and replenished? Just something I want to put out there. And it's an important question for all of us to reflect on and to notice, because we are constantly being shaped and evolving through these shifting times. The more conscious we can become, by noticing ourselves and increasing our awareness of what we're experiencing and how we're showing up, this will only further enhance our ability and capacity to adjust our sails, if you will, as we move through these times. And if we're not as aware, then this is where we can start to make stories up in our mind about why something is happening that wasn't happening before. So, for example, I'll give you a concrete, pedestrian example. I mean, I still like to get my nails done, but say that's one of the ways you pamper yourself and you care for yourself. A very pedestrian example. And now when you do it, it doesn't give you that sense of feeling cared for in the same way. Perhaps when you go there, your mind is, ruminating over something that happened to you that day or that week. Perhaps you're worrying about something that could happen in the future. Perhaps you're being hard on yourself about something, and the list goes on. The point I'm trying to make here is that when we are doing the behaviors of self-care without the conscious awareness of ourselves in whatever activity we are intending will nourish and replenish our energy, this is where the disconnect begins to happen. And it's so subtle in the beginning that this is why it's easy for us to start making up stories in our head and completely getting distracted by our thoughts and then led down rabbit holes with our emotions. And so, hand on heart, if it's safe to do so, I'm going to invite you just to take a deep Ave Saw breath in. And again, this is a breath I've learned from my beloved teachers, Master Lady Kira Ra and Sri Ram Ka. And I find it so helpful. I've studied their Avesa balancing, and it's a wonderful sacred self-care practice for the very reasons I'm just speaking about, because it's that moment where the being, if you will, is the activity rather than the activity itself on the surface level. And so let's just take a moment after reflecting on that question that I just raised for all of us to consider, and just I'm going to lead you through 3 very simple and profound Ave Saw breaths, because this is a pattern interrupt. This breath is a way that we shift our focus, actually expand our focus from the minutia of our daily lives to the grander vision of our now moment, and to have the capacity, the increasing capacity to notice what we're noticing and to witness ourselves in this now moment. So on the inhale, we're going to breathe in Ave, which is an opening, a remembering, and inviting in the divine presence in us to notice ourselves in this now moment. And the Sa, as we exhale, allowing a smile to form on our face, is the recognition that we are so much more than we think we are. And it's a beautiful surrendering and opening to that higher expanded expression of ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to join me in these 3 beautiful Ave Saw breaths. Ave Sa. Ave Sa. Ave Sa. And just taking a moment to be with yourself, to allow everything to get quiet for a moment, to tune into your body, feeling the warmth of your hands on your heart and the warmth of your heart on your hands. Feeling in to that energy, that warmth, and offering it, sending it to any other part of your body that would like it right now. Offering yourself that gift. Continuing to notice what you're noticing as you do that. Is warmth spreading through your body? What sensations are you noticing? Has your mind become a little quieter? Are the thoughts slipping away? Are there any emotions or feelings bubbling up to the surface? It's all good. Just notice it. Just be with it. Thank you for offering yourself that gift right now. Just pausing and showing up for yourself in a simple and yet profound way. You know, a lot of times in our lives, our ego minds will rationalize that we don't have time. And right now, in this now moment, I just want you to recognize that you co-created the time. We co-created the time together because we chose to make presence as important as content in the show. And you can also choose to make presence as important as content in your daily life. You can choose to check in with yourself for a few moments, 3 times a day, every hour, or just whenever you feel guided to. It's up to you. It's a choice, and it's a powerful one. And this is where self-care really is heading, as I see it, in 2024. Without this piece in it, it is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride, potentially, for a lot of people. Because we've been so programmed to notice everything that's going on outside of ourselves, to look for what will nourish and replenish our energy outside of ourselves, to seek the content first. And what I've been discovering, and I'm so happy and grateful for it along my inner journey, is that when I've given myself the gift of slowing down, of pausing, of checking in, regardless of all the resistance from my own ego mind, a beautiful, beautiful shift has emerged in me. And this shift is a deeper and deeper cultivation of a rich inner world, a rich inner life. Without this inner life, I would be bobbing around on the ocean of, in the storm that we're all in, feeling discombobulated, feeling lost at sea potentially. And there have been moments in my life as a human being where I definitely felt that way. And right now, what's become the loudest for me is how important it is to make that sacred vow, that sacred commitment to nourishing my inner life, and to make that louder than anything that my ego mind would tell me to seek to stop me from doing that. Anything louder than I'm going to give you a practical example today. I got a notification on my social media this morning, and I think it was spam, but it was, these days with all the AI out there, there's so much that's so convincing. So this is yet another practical application that if we are not connected to our inner truth, our inner authenticity, our inner knowing, our intuition, our capacities to see beyond the surface level of things, we can be tossed around in a sea of emotional volatility. We can be tossed around in mental overwhelm and internal chaos and conflict. And what we often, when we get swept up in this, we go back into survival brain, and then we make up stories based on that, which become beliefs, which become energetic strongholds, which become self-fulfilling realities. And we give away our power. We give away the source connection that is our birthright as creative, co-creative divine beings, to command, not just claim, command, to really embrace and learn and discover that it's been in us all along, and we are not at the mercy of this turbulence out here unless we have any seed of fear, doubt, or hesitancy. And a lot of my teachings over the past few years, as I've done a deeper dive into working with Sri and Kira, have been greatly influenced by their teachings. So I highly encourage you to check out their teachings as well too at sriandkira.com. And they have wonderful monthly predictions on Oneness Talk Radio. And they have an amazing Monday Magic program, which has been balm for my soul too. So I'm all about collaboration. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be on this platform. So thank you. Big shout out to Sri and Kira. And right now, you know, if you're looking for visionaries who have the capacity to see beyond the surface level of things and to speak to the core essence of what's really going on in the world, and to the difference, and this is something that actually pinged for me recently that really came through, is that when you're in a sacred space with them online or in person at their beautiful Tosa Blue Mountain retreat, which I'm looking forward to experiencing in the very near future. I have met them in person before, and I'm so happy and grateful for that blessing. They are unique in a world of spiritual teachers out there, because they are literally, when you're with them, you're literally co-creating this now moment. And it's done through the most beautiful, sacred, conscious, divine mastery presence. And it's beyond information. It's beyond receiving information. It's about active co-creation in this now moment. And I now, coming full circle as an artist soul from since I was a child, to, all the things I've shared with you in some of the other episodes that I've been pursuing throughout my lifetime, from dance to writing to just healing work, which I think is very, I know is very creative, co-creative. All of these wonderful, inspirations that I've been following and have been guided to pursue have all been about the creative journey. And so this is why I do feel very at home in the community that they co-create with all of us, that we co-create with them. And so I do really want to acknowledge and honor and be transparent that if what I'm sharing is resonating for you, a wonderful, wonderful source of my own inspiration and my training and my teaching and my studying has come from their Sacred as Seen teachings. And I do encourage you to check them out as another wonderful resource to support you on your inner awakening journey too. They're also doing so much wonderful humanitarian work with the Global Minga initiative and the Rainforest Renaissance. So if you care about this planet that we're living on, and I know you do, please go check out their Global Minga. And really all of their offerings that I know of go to support Global Minga. So this is the most beautiful part about it. They are a legit nonprofit organization, registered and everything, and they are just working miracles through all kinds of wonderful things. So I encourage you to go to sriandkira.com and check them out, and you will be restored just knowing that there are people on this planet who are walking their talk and living their truth and authenticity and holding the space for all of us to do the same and inspiring us to flourish and expand and grow beyond anything we could have ever imagined. And so this is where really, when we're talking about conventional self-care only taking you so far in 2024, as I shared at the beginning of our program, and I'm going to be wrapping up very shortly, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter show, it comes back to consciousness. It really does. Because right now, especially between now and March, we are in very fluid times. They talk about the sea of adaptability or the field of adaptability. My business is called Multidimensional Muse because I've known since I was a child, even though I couldn't articulate it then, that we exist in many times, spaces, dimensions, and realities. And it's what we focus on that will anchor us into a certain space, place, or reality, or is known as a timeline, right? And so I'm going to be sharing more and more in upcoming shows about this because I'm feeling really guided to. It's too much for me to get into today. And I received a really powerful download this morning about 2 points on the body that are incredibly supportive at this now time as we are navigating the next several months before the March equinox. And I do want to share that I'm going to be and I don't want to share these on YouTube and Facebook, especially after the experience I had this morning with that weird flag of something that completely makes no sense whatsoever. So I am going to invite you to join my free masterclass this Thursday. And you can do that by sending me an email at info@pollyannablanco.com, and I will send you the Zoom link. And even if you can't be there live for the free masterclass this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be more than happy to send you the recording of the Zoom masterclass. And it's really on this topic about why conventional self-care will only take you so far in 2024. And there is an activation I'm going to be sharing with all of you that just came through this morning. And it's a very powerful one. And it's one that will be the focus for the share this Thursday. And it's something too that I think will really support you to anchor into greater balance and harmony within. It will also support sacred union within. And I'm just trusting it. I'm going to be playing with it myself this week and practicing it before the class as I've been guided to. And I did, and I will be sharing how even before the download came in, my body started speaking to me. I think that's very important to share too, because I want to offer you that mirror to uphold the possibility and even amplify it if you've already been listening to your body, to affirm that keep listening to your body, because the body is something that really is our best friend. It's a partner. And while we are divine beings, we're having a human experience in a human body. So really honoring the human body, being kind to the human body, treating it as our sacred vessel, our chalice, our temple, is so incredibly important. And I know this as a Chakradance facilitator and teacher, and so it's really important that as we move through this year, we're not just doing our self-care, we're being our self-care. We're embodying it on the deepest possible level. And that starts with conscious awareness and divine presence. And that will support us to not just stabilize our first three more human chakras that can be the most wobbly ones, they're the foundational chakras, but will also help us to, and help you to stabilize all of the 7 chakras more often. And if they get destabilized, which they oftentimes, we all have moments, right? Where they get wobbly, you'll have the capacity to come back to center, to return home to your new set point, which is of your co-creation. And so, and I'm also excited to share, I'm super excited to share that I'm going to be having a very special guest on the show next Sunday, and you'll be hearing more about that. I'll have everything up about that a little earlier this week. And if you'd like more information about my offerings and how I can support you to care as much for yourself as you're caring for the world, because the world needs you right now more than ever, please do reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can also subscribe to my newsletter, which comes out usually once a week, sometimes twice a month. It varies. Normally it's been once a week. And I do try to really offer value in terms of, insights, teachings, resources, just to help you to navigate these shifting times with more peace, love, and joy, grace and ease and gratitude, so that you can live the life you came here to live, that uplifts not only yourself, but the world as you heal one dance at a time. And this is the beauty of the times we're in. If you're hearing the call, if you're feeling that creative impulse to something more than maybe even you can fully see or comprehend right now, I'm so happy and grateful that you are listening to it. And my number one reason for what I do, I mean, there are many reasons for why I do what I do, but one of the big ones is I just don't want you to throw in the towel. I really don't. I know how easy it is to, you know, get, inspired one moment and then second guess yourself the next. I did it for years, and it was bumpy and it was uncomfortable and it was arduous, and it doesn't have to be like that. So everything that I offer is to help you, to support you, to guide you, to trust yourself more, to believe in yourself, to know that you've got this, to know that you're supported beyond, what you can comprehend, and to really relax into your and restore your sacred feminine so you can fully receive it, and then be able to lead from your divine sacred masculine light leadership. So I want to wish everyone a wonderful 2024 and a fabulous start to your week. And it's an honor and a blessing as always to be here with you. And looking forward to be with us next week for the special guest who's going to be on. I'll be sharing more. And if you do sign up for my newsletter, then you'll get a few more details about it. If not, you can just wing it and show up here next weekend. Because if you want to ask this, I will say that this particular guest I'm having on is going to be, from what we were discussing, what came through for her, an activation. So if you can be here live, that would be wonderful, because we will have a Q&A where you can ask her. And she is really, she's been one of my teachers for years. And she's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And she's a very gifted intuitive, and very, very knowledgeable too. And so, yes, you're going to want to be here. You're really going to want to be here. You're going to want to offer yourself that gift. And if you can't be here live, then of course catch the replay, because she's all about Earth Angels. She's all about supporting Earth Angels. So if that pings and resonates for you, you're going to want to be here. Okay. Well, hand on heart, thank you so much for watching either live or on the replay. I know I didn't go to the questions, but my spidey sense says I don't think anyone's here, but I'm going to just check. No. Okay. But I hope you will be here live next week, because you will have a very special opportunity to ask questions and to receive clarity around, especially if you're interested in spiritual hygiene. I've got questions about that. That's something that I've really delved into more over the past year of 2023. Haven't we all been curious about that? Well, she's very, very well versed on that topic. And yes, so please, if you can be here live, you will be thanking yourself for having done so, because to be able to ask her your questions live is going to be wonderful. It really will. And it'll give you that clarity that you need moving forward as we come fully out of the Mercury retrograde too. Okay, much peace, love, and joy. Wishing you infinite creative blessings and infinite creative abundance. Lots of love and light, beautiful creative souls. In Lakach Alakeen, I'm another you, and you are another me. Be well.